This gospel passage cannot be understood without putting it in context. Israel was a very small part of a Roman Empire. It was a province of the empire. However, in Israel, perhaps more than elsewhere, there was a strong nationalistic feeling. In fact, this took place approximately in the year 32-31. In the year 55, there was a very strong rebellion, a war against the empire for independence, which culminated in the destruction of Jerusalem in the year 70. Destruction, and it says that 1 million death. That is to say, the Jew, the religion Jew, the majority at least, wanted independence of his homeland. To pay the tax, therefore, to then, I do not say to the oppressor, but to the invader, to the occupator, to pay the tax was annoying. I think that nobody likes to pay taxes, even if there was a convinced most idea of it. But in just case, paying a tax to a dominant foreign invader was something doubly annoying. They set a trap. If Jesus said no, they accuse him of going against the emperor. Immediately the police will be after him, or the army, or the Roman military. And if he says yes, then he becomes unpopular with the people, because nobody wanted to pay taxes, at least all to the Romans. Jesus came out of the situation, of this very compromising situation, with this answer. Whose denarius is it? The denarius was the currency of the tax. Whose denarius is it? Caesar's? Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and God what belongs to God. It's a very popular phrase. What does Jesus teach us? That indeed. There are laws that are not laws that the church must decide. The church or the religion does not have to become the one that dictates what to do when a traffic light turns red or green, or what fine to impose if one runs a stop sign, for example. Religion has moral norms that affect all areas of life, but there are many things that must be applied in the practice by the civil authorities, which is the payment to Caesar. However, payment to God means that there are things that civil law cannot forget. It cannot in any way forget that his laws cannot go against nature. St. John Paul II, who has suffered in his own flesh the consequences of Nazism and communism, says so. Pope Benedict XVI said in his famous speech in the German parliament in Berlin, in that parliament where the laws against the Jewish, which caused millions of deaths, were passed with a majority. The fact that the majority approve a law does not make it good. The majority might be wrong. It might be passing laws that are very inhumane. That is why the Church has always spoken of natural law. The natural law will be that which God has written in the heart of man, of every man. No government, no matter how much majority it has, cannot violate, cannot go against it, cannot legislate against it, because if it does so, it is not going against a particular religious sentiment, but it's going against something that is in human nature. There are many examples today, unfortunately, of democratically approved laws that goes against human nature. Human nature is no longer a specific religious precept. Human nature tells us that you cannot kill an innocent person. Why are you going to kill an innocent person? Yet, the laws passed by many countries, very many today, allow the death of unborn children. Human nature tells us to honor the elderly, to take care of the father and the mother. Not only does the divine law say so, but human nature says so. This was being done already, long before Moses codified the Ten Commandments at the Sinai. It is part of human nature, yet there are laws in countries that have passed euthanasia laws that, in the suddenly way, sometimes with pressure, makes these elderly people ask for death because their children are constantly saying that they are responsible for their own problems because they give them a lot of hassle. We must be very careful. We cannot ask the government to support or to endorse specifically religious precepts. For example, you cannot ask the government to force people to go to Mass on Sunday, or force people to fast on Ash Wednesday, or force people, for example, not to work on Good Friday, so that no one can listen to the radio. You cannot ask that of a government. However, you can ask the government to respect the natural law. It is in the natural law, which is not a religious law, neither Christian nor Buddhist nor Muslim, that natural law right in the heart of man, although we all must agree. It is not necessary that there is a principle of agreement for all men, because there are, in today's society, at least in the West, there are atheists. They have the right to live their atheism. They are people who are agnostic. They are Catholics. They are Protestants. They are Muslims. They are Buddhists. They are Hindus. People of many different religions. But we will have to have a common ground, a point of agreement. We must have a common base to be able to understand each other. That common basis is the natural law. Well, this is what the Lord wants to teach us with this phrase. Give to God what is God's, and give to Caesar what is Caesar's. But for us Catholics, God comes first. That is why the Church asks that in certain circumstances we make conscience of objections, and demands that consciousness of objections must be respected when a person is obligated by law to do something that goes against his or her principle. May God help us. Amen.